His former allies denounce him as a man who is motivated only by his own self-interest and the pursuit of his own career, at the expense of the integrity and even the survival of Israel itself. But Israel Hayom is now publishing stories saying that Netanyahu threatens not only the nature of Israeli democracy, but the integrity of the state itself. People simply don't realize that Netanyahu's national security minister is a convicted terrorist who was implicated in the incitement to murder Yitzhak Rabin in 1994. As a seriously committed Jewish supremacist who leads a party called Jewish Power. Now, this man, who's called Itamar Ben-Gvir, recently stormed out of the government over the fact that Netanyahu appeared to be committed to a hostage deal. And he was outraged by this because he pursues a maximalist policy of basically annihilating or expelling all the non-Jewish population. So people like him are now criticising Netanyahu as well, and the formerly loyal press are criticising him. So it's important, very significant to notice, that these reports of a severe crisis in Israel are not simply coming from liberal critics. Netanyahu is struggling to try and present himself as an embattled figure on the lines of Donald Trump fighting a hostile deep state. But there's nothing of the sort. If you look at who is attempting to prosecute him and for what, you will see that Netanyahu is clearly guilty of these corruption charges and has attempted to dismantle the judiciary and has so severely undermined the rule of law that his former security minister, National Security Minister Ben-Gvir, is charged with having led the police into a kind of private militia where ordinary crimes are no longer investigated, but they are mobilized in order to defend the increasingly extreme agenda of the shrinking power, I would say, of the Netanyahu government. In my view, I think the Americans have one way out, and that is to hang the whole mess around Netanyahu's neck. This is the man, after all, who has led the United States into war after war, from Iraq to Syria to Libya, and now he's attempting to drag them into a war with Iran. This is the man who's been the architect of so much disorder and the saboteur of peace for many years, and who is himself pursued by allegations that he too incited the murder of Yitzhak Rabin, who was the last Israeli prime minister, really, to try to realise the two-state solution. Netanyahu has devoted his entire political career to killing the two-state solution and has openly admitted this. He is an enemy of peace, and he can only remain in power as long as the war carries on. With the United States dedicated to peace, it would seem that Netanyahu is simply running out of road.
Continuing the war and the war effort has been historically very good for dictators.
And it would seem that an increasing number of Israelis do describe him in that way. The criticisms began several years ago saying that Israeli democracy was undermined, but now it is a chorus of voices from across the political spectrum, even from people from far to the right of him, and now his enemies, because people are accusing him now. His former national security minister said that he simply seeks these sabotage of peace, the sabotage of hostage deals for his own self-interest. So his former allies denounce him as a man who is motivated only by his own self-interest and the pursuit of his own career, at the expense of the integrity and even the survival of Israel itself. So Israelis are now talking seriously about existential crisis in Israel that threatens the survival and integrity of their own nation.
Aloha everyone, this is Jason Jones for LifeSite News. We hope you enjoyed this video. For more content like this, check the link in the description. You can also connect with us on social media to stay up to date with the latest news on life, faith, family, and freedom. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.